Rape has become the fastest growing crime in the country, and shockingly, a majority of rapes are now being done by groups of men. The more frequent and shocking they get, the more desensitized we seem to become.
ऑफिस जा रही थी, अपने कैब का वेट कर रही थी 5 बजे। उस टाइम एक ऑटो आया, उसमें से उसमें 3-4 लड़के थे, उसमें से एक निकला, उसने मेरे को ब्लैंकेट डाला और मेरा गला दबोचा, दूसरे मेरे दोनों पैर पकड़ के मुझे अंदर डाल दिया और फिर मेरे को ले गया। फिर मैंने कहा कि तू सो मचाएगी तो हम तेरे को चाकू से मारेंगे। फिर मेरे को सुनसान जगह पे ले गए और उन लोगों के द्वारा मेरा रेप किया गया।
First of all, rape cases are increasing. We have many-fold rape cases which have happened, in past 2 years than in past 10 years.
For most of the homeless women on the street, repetitive, if not also multiple sexual abuse is quite common. And for homeless mentally ill women, I must say it's quite the rule.
It's also about, some kind of tension that these young boys and men have, which they want to just take out, and they find the most vulnerable person to attack.
वो एक टाइप की लड़की थी, वो अपने बॉयफ्रेंड के साथ हमारे गांव की तरफ जा रही थी। हमने उन्हें उससे और उसके बॉयफ्रेंड को एक साथ रंगे हाथ पकड़ लिया और उसके बाद हमने उसके बॉयफ्रेंड में बजाया और फिर हमने उसे अपने साथ गाड़ी में लेके चले।
शराब पिलाई गाड़ी में, गंदा कर दिया सबको।
जब उन्होंने मेरे साथ किया तो वो कहते देख, जैसे चिल्ला रही थी ना चिंकी मिंकी भी ऐसे चिल्ला रही थी।
पहली बार नहीं, दूसरी बार करा मेरे को गंदा। मैंने मम्मी को बताया, मम्मी ने बदनामी के डर से चुप बोला, किसी को नहीं बोला, किसी को नहीं बताया। 1 साल नॉर्मल होने के लिए मेरी स्कूल लाइफ सब खराब हो गया।
I think it's absolutely traumatic to go and report to the police station after the incident has taken place, to go through the medical checkup, and then to identify them in the parade. I mean, you go and identify each one of them. It's very difficult. So it's an easy getaway.
FIR दिखाने के लिए गई तो जो SHO साहब तो मेरे से क्रॉस क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे कि तुम्हें इतना बजे जाना नहीं चाहिए था ऑफिस, तुम्हारे पास सेलफोन क्यों नहीं है?
Law enforcement agencies are absolutely with the same mindset. When a girl is reporting rape or a family of a girl is reporting rape, they first try to find fault. So investigation goes very weak.
कोई भी प्राइमा फेसाई एविडेंस ऐसा नहीं अपने रिकॉर्ड पे आया हमारे, जिससे कि उनकी गिरफ्तारी अट्रैक्ट हो।
पुलिस से आपको कोई कोऑपरेशन मिल रहा है? उस टाइम मुझे कोई कोऑपरेशन नहीं मिला और एक सर तो मैं से इवन ये भी कह रहे थे कि ये तो खुद ही चली गई होगी।
हमने कई बार भी पुलिस वाले को फोन करा, तब भी एक भी बार पुलिस वाले मेरे घर पे नहीं आते थे।
To get the justice, you have to go through the agony of getting to the justice, and finally justice is delayed so much that it almost means nothing.
A recent survey reveals that there is one rape case every 18 hours in the national capital. But is it really about sex?
What is rape? It is actually a manifestation of the inequality that we have in society. It is an extremely violent manifestation of the gender inequality that prevails in society. And rape is an exercise of power. It is an attack on somebody who you do not think has any right to have any control or autonomy over their own lives or over their own bodies.
Why are more Indian men becoming rapists? What triggers them? Why do men force themselves on women without their consent?
The perpetrator of the crime, whosoever is the abuser, is either inadequate sexually, physically or emotionally to understand and empathize the kind of feelings of another person. So they usually look at the victim as an object of desire, and they just try to fulfill their instincts through instant gratification without realizing as to what would happen to the victim in future.
Rape is not an act of lust. Rape is an act of power. A man doesn't rape a woman because he's feeling sexually excited. We misunderstand that. You will always feel the rape is being inflicted as an act of power, as an act of violence.
This girl has been scarred for life. She was assaulted and brutally gang raped by an acquaintance and at least 7 others on the 9th of August and then dumped near the Agra-Delhi highway. Her crime? She threatened one of the men who was harassing her.
मेरी ना ऐसी गाली वाली हो गई थी, उसने मेरे को पहले भी बुलाने की कोशिश करी, मैंने गाली वाली दी, मैंने बोला तो तेरा और कुछ काम ही है, उसने यही बदला लेने के लिए मेरे को बुलाया और यही मैंने उससे बदला लिया अपने।
जो जितने लड़के का नाम लिखवाया आपने, अब उनमें से कितने लोगों को आप वाइस रेट जानते हैं?
सबको जानते हैं।
Gang raped for revenge. Social activist Sunita Krishnan was working for the empowerment of women from the weaker sections.
Then I got into trouble with people who did not like my way of doing things in terms of, working for the Dalits, working for the SC/STs, and somewhere they felt that that group of people should not get empowered. And so to teach a lesson, I was gang raped. Any kind of violation has that much amount of revolt that your psyche gives, which needs to be understood. What I didn't do for myself was to understand the pain of being violent. For me, the gang rape per se is not so important, because that was just a physical moment. Yes, there was a sudden violation, there was utter humiliation, there was shame, there was pain, definitely all of that. There is no doubt about that, because you feel outraged that hands which you don't want on your body have touched you. But that particular memory is not so strong to me as much what happened after that. For 15 years, I was everybody's apple of the eye. Everybody actually spoke about having a daughter like me, and everybody actually congratulated my parents for, having such a wonderful daughter. Then a stage came when everything that I did, everything I believed in, or everything I behaved, everything became wrong.
Gang rape is, a lot of it has been related to, family rivalries, caste rivalries, communal rivalries. But of late what we are seeing is that it's also about, some kind of tension that, these young boys and men have, which they want to just take out, and they find the most vulnerable person to attack and get rid of their tension.
Gang rape is not just a new emerging trend, it has always been there. It's just that in earlier times it would not be reported because of the social stigma and the trauma attached to it. Women would not go to the police station and report these kind of cases. But as of today, what we see is women are becoming more and more powerful and they're aware of their rights. So these cases as of today are being reported.
What is causing men to brazenly assault women and gang rape them? And who are the most susceptible or vulnerable?
At the micro level, it is individuals who have the psychological or the biological vulnerability or the susceptibility, genetically or because of broken homes background, who might get involved. At the meso level, it is the frustration of living in megalopolises related to rural-urban migration, unemployment, economic deprivation, and the temptation and the need of for gratification, sexual and otherwise. And at the macro level, it seems to me that we cannot escape the fact that the liberalization and globalization, that we are blindly kind of on a roll about, brings about a huge gap between aspiration and reality.
And providing the images and soundtracks to fuel these lofty aspirations is the media.
I think it's a lot to do with the kind of lifestyle we are leading, the kind of life we live, and a lot to do, of course, with media as well. I mean, media has a tremendous impact on the minds of people, and for some reason, in a society where we don't discuss sexuality, we don't discuss sexual behavior, but we watch it all the time around us, there's bound to be a lot more curiosity.
I feel it's mostly because of the television, the kind of movies that you get to see which has rape scenes, you feel that, you get ideas from there. And of course the access to internet, the pornographic sites.
Films or Bollywood portray what the society is and what they would like, and vice versa. But for sure the net and the issue of pornography on net stimulating the sexual gratification needs of young people is a significant issue.
In any case, media is double-edged sword. On one side, media is extremely important to really create sensitivity in society. They are presenting the cases, they are standing by the cases, and also they are helping in getting justice. On the other side, same media presents the picture in such a titillating way, where you are just presenting woman as her body. You're not looking at woman as a person, you are looking as a woman as her body.
What happens when lofty aspirations meet lowly realities? It causes an increase in aggression and a decrease in sensitivity.
It's aggression. If girl doesn't want to love you, you can't force her to love you. Is it possible? Then what they do, they gang up and they try to kind of take it out.
It's easier to work in a group, because then you feel that you're there with a lot more people who are thinking alike and similar. So that's basically why gang rape.
Aggressive, insensitive groups of men leading a fast-paced life of flexible hours, cars and bars, addicted to a potent cocktail of film, television and pornographic images, find themselves now with easier access to women. Sometimes these are women they know. Sometimes they don't know their victims at all. For them, they're just bodies meant for instant gratification. In other cases, as we've just shown, the gang rapes are planned and executed to exact revenge or send a message. But what about the law and the courts? Does justice ever come for these victims? All this and more after a short break. Gang rape, India's new nightmare, will be right back. Is India's new nightmare, and who is to blame? Activist Ranjana Kumari, who has years of experience dealing with rape victims, doesn't beat around the bush when it comes to assigning blame for the rising number of rape and gang rape cases.
I want to blame the judicial system for that, because they are the ones who are not taking the cases in a serious manner. There are cases which are going over 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. Only 26% cases there is judgment.
In reality and in public perception, the criminal justice system doesn't seem to be very prompt and effective. And so those who are vulnerable kind of seem to get the feeling of possibly getting away with it. And so the adequacy and the promptness of the criminal justice system, one must accept, affects the psyche, in any society.
Probably they think that they are above the law and they can do no wrong and they can get away with it. The feeling, the powerful people in the society, they think that probably they can get away with it by just, buying them off. By using money, by using manpower, they can just get away with all this kind of crime.
No fear of law. You are not enforcing the law. Punitive action is not being taken. Nobody has been punished. Only 26% punishment means 74% people just get scot-free.
is the punishment for gang rape in India?
As far as gang rapes or even rape is concerned, there are absolute stringent laws on this. The Indian Penal Code takes care of it. Article, Section 375 and 376 defines rape and the punishment for rapes. So gang rape, like if anybody committing gang rape in furtherance to their common intention, there's a rigorous imprisonment for nothing less than 10 years, or it can be for life along with fine.
Though laws may exist, what's agonizingly painful for rape victims is the slow pace at which the legal system moves.
Let me tell you a very short story. The girl whose case we fought, she was just 7-year-old, and this has been now 12 years. This girl used to look after, 7-year-old was sent by her mother to look after 2.5-year-old in her uncle's house, because everybody will go for the work. This uncle raped this child, used to rape this child, 7-year-old. Finally, of course, one day it was all discovered, and girl could confide in her mother that this is what is happening. Mother brought her to us. Would you believe that case has gone on till her age was already 18, she was to get married. And then the mother comes and asks us, what should I do? Here is this marriage I am arranging for her, and here is this case going on, and everybody will know that my girl was raped. And do you think anybody will accept her as a wife? So this is the insensitivity of the system. That the girls are being, when first such a thing happens, B, then to get the justice you have to go through the agony of getting to the justice, and finally justice is delayed so much that it almost means nothing.
This 19-year-old Delhi University student was gang raped.
3 नवंबर को जब मैं ऑफिस जा रही थी, अपने कैब का वेट कर रही थी 5 बजे, उस टाइम एक ऑटो आया, उसमें से उसमें 3-4 लड़के थे, उसमें से एक निकला, उसने मेरे पर ब्लैंकेट डाला और मेरा गला दबोचा, दूसरे में दोनों पैर पकड़ के मुझे अंदर डाल दिया, और फिर मेरे को ले गया। फिर मैंने कहा कि तू शोर मचाएगी तो हम तेरे को चाकू से मारेंगे। फिर मेरे को सुनसान जगह पे ले गए और उन लोगों के द्वारा मेरा रेप किया गया। मैं नहीं चाहती कि जिन लोगों ने मुझे इतने आंसू, जैसे मैं उन लोगों के सामने गिड़गिड़ा रही थी कि मेरे को छोड़ दो, प्लीज मेरे को छोड़ दो, मेरे साथ ऐसा, मैं चाहती हूँ वो मेरे सामने ऐसे गिड़गिड़ाए कि मेरे को छोड़ दो।
The victim and her mother alleged that the police was reluctant to file a case.
मैं थाने गई थी तो इससे साफ पता चलता है कि जब मैं कई बार बोल चुकी हूँ कि उन्होंने 8-9 घंटा तो मुझे थाने में ही बैठाए थे, और इस टाइप से वो करने की जगह, वो केस दर्ज करने की जगह उल्टा सीधा जलील करते रहे, मुझे बहुत कमज़ोर करते रहे। लास्ट में मैं कमज़ोर भी हो गई थी, फिर मैंने बड़े मुश्किल से हिम्मत बांधा। लड़की भी रोने लगी थी, वापस चलो, वो नहीं करने, हमें कंप्लेन नहीं लिखवाने, जिस तरह से उन्होंने जलील किया था, और पूरा कमज़ोर कर दिए थे, मुझे तोड़ दिए थे उस रात।
FIR दिखाने के लिए गई तो जो SHO साहब पे मेरे से क्रॉस क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे कि तुम्हें इतना बजे जाना नहीं चाहिए था ऑफिस, तुम्हारे पास सेलफोन क्यों नहीं है? मेरे पास सेलफोन नहीं।
पुलिस से आपको कोई कोऑपरेशन मिल रहा है?
उस टाइम मुझे कोई कोऑपरेशन नहीं मिला, और एक सर्टो तो मैं से इवन ये भी कह रहे थे कि ये तो खुद ही चली गई होगी।
Such callous behavior by the police is one of the reasons why so many rape cases go unreported.
It's nothing new that every time when there is rape happening, victim is to be blamed. That she asked for it, she was wearing the clothes that she was wearing, and the kind of environment that she was moving around is what she called for. This is what she went there to get raped. That means if she goes with a friend, she's wanting to get raped, which she takes a drink or two, she wants to be raped, the dress she wears. I think this is the kind of mindset. Because of that, every day in and out we are seeing rape cases increasing.
One of the most glaring examples of how insensitive the police force is in India came to light in April 2012 in Noida. Allegedly blackmailed, gagged, assaulted and gang raped, a minor, a class 10 student, complained to the Noida police. And in return they revealed her identity, commented about her character, and went on to imply that she asked for it.
There is nothing more appalling and much more insensitive than what the police has done. Police seems not to even know the law of the land, that you are not supposed to reveal the identity of the victim. So unless the police will get properly trained and gender sensitized about looking at these cases, they will keep doing these kind of idiotic mistakes, and somebody should take them to task. Otherwise, on the one side, the rape cases are increasing. On the other side, police every time is indulging in all kinds of anti-legal activity. You know, they're not engaging in the proper way of. Do you know what will happen because of this? Now there'll be, difficulty in investigation. The family may just migrate. I do not know how many people remember the MMS case that happened of the school kid in Delhi. The girl lives in Canada now. She does not even have the right to live in her own country because people made her life hell. So I think this is what we were not learning a lesson, even in spite of all this.
Yes, it does seem that for every step forward, we take 2 steps back, especially as day after day, more and more rapes are committed. But the police has got the message and has begun to train their men and women to be more sensitive.
In each police station there are beats which are manned especially by women beat officers, so that the women complainants or women or complainants are comfortable interacting with them. We have been also taking lot of sensitization workshops for our own policemen. Recently also certain workshops got conducted basically on gender sensitization, wherein the target was our IOs, and that was they actively participated in that workshop, and the attitudes are definitely changing.
So it's good to know that attitudes are changing, but is the pace and quantum of justice for rape victims increasing, and is it adequate? What do the victims themselves want?
उनकी जो खौफनाक बातें, मुझे वही बातें याद आती है। मैं चाहती हूँ कि वो मेरे सामने रोए गिर गिराए, मुझसे माफी मांगे कि प्लीज मेरे को छोड़ दो प्लीज, और मैं कमीनों को ना, और मैं चाहती हूँ तो उन्हें सजा हो, या फिर उनकी सजा ऐसी होनी चाहिए, उनका जो सेक्स पावर है ना उसे या तो उन्हें काट देना चाहिए या तो उन्हें फांसी की सजा होनी चाहिए।
They are horrible ideas and they should be abandoned, and they are bad ideas not only because these are inhuman acts which as feminists we do not subscribe to, but because they are not deterrents. And if the idea is to provide a safer space for women, then this is not the route. The flaws in the law do not lie in the sentence. The reason why the law is not working are multiple, and the sentence is not one of them.
Victim of sexual violence should not feel that she is done something wrong or something horrible by being a victim. But at the same time, she needs to understand that her sense of being violated, her sense of being pained and shamed, that has to be dealt with, whether you deal it on your own or you deal it with professional help, but do it, because you have to do it for your own self.
For the older generations, during this program, it will be very important to recognize the need of young people for all kinds of gratification, including sexual needs. For young people, young friends, I do want to say this and straight to them. What happens between 2 consenting adults about any personal behavior, including sexual behavior, is alright, is different. And our society is beginning to learn to accept that. But what happens non-consensually or by force or by power of gender is not alright.
Prevention, I think, is where we are lacking. We have not worked on preventive aspects of child protection at all. And that's where we need to put in our energies. We need to start talking about responsible sexual behavior. The moment we close our eyes and think that young people, oh no, how can they be indulging in sexual activity, we've actually closed doors to all kinds of communication on the subject, and we've allowed increase in sexual crimes.
I have a message for the girls, it's just like any biological, if somebody has hit you, it's just like that an assault. Don't take it to yourself like, we counsel the girls and we say, what has happened to you? Nothing has gone wrong. Whatever the man has done, it is with him. It is his mistake. Why should you be blamed? Or, one mother came to my office and she said, "Arey, ab to kalank lag gaya na." मैंने कहा, तुम मेरे ऑफिस से बाहर जाओ. You are not supposed to see a girl like that. Nothing has gone wrong with her. And that mindset has to change. That girls should not take it as if something has gone. It's just that this man who was so wronged, who has been so, whatever, brutalized her, that's like a physical assault on her. You know, unless that mindset will change, it is not going to really get women out of that stigma and trauma that they go through.
All women everywhere, it's time to fight back and curb the rising menace of gang rape and stop it forever.